From the WYLN studios in Hazleton and all over northeastern Pennsylvania, this is WYLN News.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Paula Degnan. West Hazleton police are currently investigating the death of a 3-month-old baby who was found unresponsive last Monday. Authorities responded to a 911 call at a home on Allen Street where they found the baby's father performing CPR on the child. The infant was taken to the hospital where it later died. Though not many details have been released, the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office has assigned a detective to the case. A search warrant was issued for the residence where police uncovered 140 pieces of heroin packaging material. An autopsy was performed on the infant. The results are still pending. So far, no charges have been filed. An SCI Mahanoy correctional officer is now out on bail after being charged with having an inappropriate relationship with an inmate. 47-year-old Tracy Lee Williams, who was a guard at the State Correctional Institute Mahanoy, allegedly carried on a relationship with inmate David Bassett. He told investigators that he and Williams hugged and kissed. She also got his nickname tattooed on her neck and deposited money into his account. She also allegedly purchased a cell phone for him so she could send sexually explicit pictures of herself. She was arrested and charged with felony institutional sexual assault and offenses of official oppression. She was arraigned and released on $25,000 unsecured bail. A preliminary hearing is scheduled for May 11th. A Hazleton woman who was on the run was captured by police on Monday. 36-year-old Joanne Leitzel was arrested after authorities found her on a rooftop of an apartment building. She was taken into custody without incident and is now locked up in the Luzerne County Prison. Hazleton police are still searching for another fugitive whose name has not yet been released. Closing arguments wrapped up late this afternoon in the penalty phase of the trial of Eric Freen. During those closing arguments, attorneys for Freen told the jury their client spent his life seeking the approval of his father, then asked the jury to spare his life what's left of it. Pike County District Attorney Ray Tonkin, leading the prosecution, went over 30 mitigating factors they hope the jury will consider during their deliberations. He also asked jurors for full justice. The jury will be given instructions, then sent to deliberate whether Freen will get life in prison with no parole or face the death penalty. Freen was found guilty of 12 counts, including murder in the ambush shooting in September 2014 of Pennsylvania State Police Corporal Brian Dixon and leaving Trooper Alex Douglas with debilitating injuries that happened outside the Blooming Grove State Police Barracks. This Saturday is National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, and many organizations throughout Pennsylvania will be collecting unused medications. Among the drop-off locations, Troop Inn, Hazleton Barracks on Desson Drive in West Hazleton. With opioid addiction and overdoses on the rise, it's more important than ever to get rid of unwanted and unused prescription drugs. Last year, over 62 tons of the drugs were collected by the Pennsylvania Attorney General's Bureau of Narcotics Investigation, the DEA, and the Pennsylvania National Guard. The Pennsylvania Department of Drug and Alcohol Programs, Pennsylvania State Police, and the Drug Enforcement Administration again will be collecting those unwanted medications this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. That Schuylkill County fire WYLN told you about that broke out Monday night that left 5 people homeless was ruled an accident. The blaze broke out shortly after 7 at a home on Old Route 209 owned by Michael Farber. He lived there with his 2 children. 2 other people resided in another part of the converted home. The fire spread on the stove, then to the kitchen and consumed the rest of the home. Crews from Tuscarora and surrounding communities were on scene until around midnight to make sure that the fire was completely extinguished. The building deemed a total loss. Residents are being assisted by the American Red Cross with food, shelter, and clothing. 3 ambulance companies in Schuylkill County are merging into one. The Shenandoah, Lost Creek, and Ringtown Ambulance Associations have talked about merging for over a year, and now it's going to happen. Shenandoah Ambulance Association President Richard Examitis said due to the lack of volunteers in the area, the association felt this was the best option. The 3 have worked closely for a number of years and are hoping this is going to be a seamless merger. A breach in contract could mean that the borough of Whitehaven has to find a new garbage hauler. Borough officials contracted Gittins Disposal Service of Mountaintop. They learned this week that Gittins was bought by County Waste. Letters were said to be sent out by County Waste informing customers of the change, but the borough manager said they never received one. The breach in contract could result in the borough searching for another hauler, which may mean rate increases. Until a decision is made, County Waste must abide by all the terms of the contract. Coming up on WYLN News, a longtime supervisor in Hazel Township is stepping down. We'll have that story. Plus, a winning Cash 5 ticket sold in Luzerne County. Check your tickets, we'll tell you where. But first, as we head out to break, let's take a look at your 7-day forecast from the WYLN Weather Center. Remember, you can get all your weather information at WYLNTV.com. We'll be right back.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Physical Therapy and Balance Centers. It's spelled different because we are different. Physical is unlike any therapy center you've been to before. If you're tired of living in pain, if you want to move better, overcome an injury or balance disorder, or you just want to improve your strength and conditioning, our highly skilled team of medical experts will help you get back to living the life you enjoy. New mentality, new body, new life. Get physical.
Are you looking to light up your business? Then you need to visit Shadler Yesco Distribution Incorporated. They're the premier electrical distributor in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Poconos, and Hazleton, specializing in extensive electrical lighting, automation, and datacom inventory to meet your contractor, commercial, or industrial needs. Don't go with a national company. Go with an independent, locally owned company that cares. Shadler Yesco Distribution Incorporated. Visit them at SYDIST.com. Come experience the difference.
One supervisor in Hazel Township is calling it quits after 12 years. WYLN's Gary Perna spoke with Supervisor Bill Gallagher about why he decided not to seek re-election.
Since 2005, Bill Gallagher has sat on the Hazel Township Board of Supervisors, elected by residents of the township to make those decisions to move one of the largest townships in our area forward. But now, after 12 years, Gallagher said it's time to walk away.
Well, a lot of things. When this would be my 12th year as a supervisor, I spent 18 years on the zoning board before that. So that's 30 years. That's half my life that I've been involved in the township in one way or another. And I really just thought it was time for somebody else. Again, it's not something you want to do. You don't do it for the money. You do it to try to make the township better. And I feel that in the last 12, 15 years that we were all here, we did that.
Gallagher has been on the board during some of the best times the township has ever had, like the growth of the industrial parks in the township.
There was a lot. It really is a lot of things. I think the overall growth of the township with with Humboldt and Valmont, some people are in favor of it, some people aren't, but how we've gotten some, world-known companies up in there now and working on the new road. We always call it the new road or Andy's road or whatever, but that was an important link for us. The soccer fields were built, Babe Ruth was built, Little League expanded. Things for the youth we worked on, we still work on. There was a lot of things. I'm really proud of the fire company. Those guys, and you know yourself, they're one of the busiest in the county. Those guys, they're volunteers. They work tirelessly. We were able to update almost all their equipment since I've been here. The road department, almost every piece of equipment's been updated here. So there's a lot. It's hard to pick like one thing because you don't really set a lot of goals when you get here. It was just to keep taxes down and keep providing services.
But is there one project or issue that Gallagher is still working on and he wants to get done?
Probably what we talked about, the Connect. That was Andy's dream long before. I remember walking the old railroad bed with Andy back in the 80s, and Andy always wanted to get the road in, and with the growth of the soccer fields and how busy Community Park is, and now with the car dealers out there, I'm hoping it gets done. I know Jimmy's hoping it gets done before I leave.
After being a supervisor for 12 years and seeing what he saw, he has this advice for whoever is going to sit in that seat next.
Get involved. Stay neutral the best you can, I think, and listen.
There is one Democrat and one Republican running to fill Gallagher's seat on the Board of Supervisors. In Hazel Township, for WYLN News, I'm Gary Perna.
Thanks, Gary. What began with one small restaurant and one big idea turned into a craze that swept the nation and the world. And now that fast-moving restaurant chain is coming to our area. The newest, Popeyes, is starting to take shape in Hazel Township. The restaurant that's famous for its Southern-style cooking is looking to heat things up in our area. The new Popeyes being built on Route 93, where an old gas station once stood right across from the Laurel Mall. No opening date has been set, but many are ready for the Louisiana-style kitchen to open. And right next door, another national chain is bringing a new restaurant to the area on Route 93 in Hazel Township across from the Laurel Mall. Officials from Panera Bread picked up a building permit from Hazel Township back on March 28th. The former Friendly's restaurant building that currently stands on Susquehanna Boulevard in the township is now being torn down. All of the zoning requirements for the Panera Bread restaurant were met last year. Plans for the new facility include a drive-through window and seating for around 98 people. No word at this time on when the construction of that restaurant will be completed. If you recently bought a Cash 5 ticket in 40 Fort, you may want to check your numbers. A winning ticket was sold on Tuesday, April 25th at the Turkey Hill Convenience Store on Wyoming Avenue. The jackpot, a whopping $600,000. Winning numbers drawn 2, 4, 1, 8, and 43. Good luck. Coming up on Hobby's News Choice, we learn about a day set aside by the Red Cross to say thank you to donors and our military community in Community and You. But first, let's take a look at today's winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you played. Stay with us.
Whether you're a homeowner renovating your first kitchen or a professional contractor remodeling your 100th kitchen, we're here to work with you every step of the way. We feature Homecrest and Omega cabinets, bathrooms and entertainment cabinets, along with solid surface countertops for Mica and Wilson Art products. We offer affordable installation. All this and more at Morris Kitchens LLC. Appointments welcome. Call 570-825-6956.
story's a glorious story, the sweetest that's ever been told. They found they were handy
at making fine candy
for family and friends to behold. Word spread through the land
that Victoria's candies
would one day be leading the rest.
Now that day is here,
for the facts are quite clear that Victoria's candies are best.
Welcome to Community and You here on Wyln News. I'm Gary Perna. I'm very pleased to be joined by Dave Skutnik from the American Red Cross to talk about an annual event that's happening here in the Greater Hazleton area once again, and it's the Hazleton Celebration of Life and Military Appreciation Walk and Luncheon being held at Faith United Church of Christ on Faith Drive in Hazel Township. And Dave, this is a great event. It's been going on for many years. So for somebody who may not have known about it, what is it and how can we get involved?
Yeah, it's a big, long title, but there's many things that'll be happening that day. It's being held Saturday, May 20th, which is also Armed Forces Day. So that's kind of the first part. It kicks off at 10:45 in the morning there at Faith United Church, as you mentioned, and with a tribute to our military members, both active and our veterans as well. So we have several American Legion and VFW groups that'll be on hand, and we'll kind of do some of the ceremonial Armed Forces Day kind of stuff with marching into the color guard, the national anthem. We'll have a flag folding ceremony as well. So a lot going on with our military members. Then the Celebration of Life part of the event is actually a tribute to all of our Hazleton area blood donors. This area is unlike any other. We have a lot of long-time dedicated blood donors who have been doing it 30, 40 years. So we're going to be paying tribute to those folks and thanking them for what they do as well.
Now, for somebody to take part in this, to be involved with the walk and the celebration, are there any fees for them, registration they have to go through?
Yeah, after the programs for the military members, veterans, and the blood donors, we actually have either a 1 mile or 5 mile walk around the church campus there. And to register for the walk portion, it's $10 for adults, so $5 for students. You get a T-shirt with that, and you can register now by calling our West Hazleton office at 570-455-9517.
So this is a great event. You're honoring all the military people out there. You're honoring all those blood donors. And without the blood donors, you guys would be in some hot water with not having that vital resource for you guys. And again, I know we say this all the time, but how important is it for somebody to roll up their sleeves and to give a pint?
There's always a need for blood. It really is constant. Every 2 seconds, someone in this country needs blood, whether it's a trauma patient, surgery, or cancer patients going through chemotherapy. They get blood transfusions as well. So there's always that need for blood, and our Hazleton area blood donors are always stepping up to meet that need. So
Dave, there's a lot going on. The annual Hazleton Celebration of Life and Military Appreciation Walk and Luncheon. Of course, that will be going on Saturday, May 20th, 2017, 10:45 in the morning. So get there, and Dave, hopefully it'll be a nice warm day, and everyone will be enjoying that walk, and then some refreshments after.
Yeah, that's right. We'll have a nice barbecue lunch. We'll have the grill, and hoping for some perfect weather to do that. Again, it's Faith United Church, and we'll see everybody in Hazleton in a few weeks.
All right, wonderful day. Thanks so much for stopping by. And of course, do your part and help out the American Red Cross any way you can. It's such a vital organization here in our community. Stay with us here on Community and You. More news is headed your way next.
Steinbrenner Auto Sales and Service, 697 South Mountain Boulevard in Mountain Top. With over 35 years of experience, make them your only call when shopping for tires or service work. They will match or beat any competitor's pricing. 100% customer satisfaction.
Are you looking to light up your business? Then you need to visit Shadler Yesco Distribution Incorporated. They're the premier electrical distributor in Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Poconos, and Hazleton. Specializing in extensive electrical lighting, automation, and datacom inventory to meet your contractor, commercial, or industrial needs. Don't go with a national company. Go with an independent, locally owned company that cares. Shadler Yesco Distribution Incorporated. Visit them at SYDIST.com. Come experience the difference.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to watch archive shows and a live stream of our broadcast shows. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. WYLN, we're your local network.
A new The Storm Show makes its premiere tonight on WYLN at 8 o'clock. The show will focus on all the new changes being made here at WYLN TV. WYLN TV's news director Gary Perna sat down with host Tiffany Cloud to talk about the new news format and why now more than ever we're focusing on local news.
News has changed rather significantly. I mean, we have a crawl growing up now, there's social media connections, etc. I want you to talk about the changes to the news format, why you've made the changes, and what the benefits are really to the audience.
So the changes came about after a meeting with the ownership, Joe and Pat Gans, and our general manager, Barry J.S., of looking to take our news to the next step. We fell into that cookie cutter system of news. You have news, you have weather, you have sports. But today that we live in this world where you get everything at the touch on a phone, a tweet, a text, following that format really wasn't fitting us anymore. We needed to become more competitive and out there on the edge. And what this new format does is it allows us to get rid of some of that fluff stuff and really hit hard on news. That is what we do. We are a news program. So every night when you tune in at 5:30, live at 5:30, you're getting the news of the day. Whether it's the top story here in Hazleton or it's a top story coming out of Wilkes-Barre or Berwick or Tamaqua. It's really what's affecting our local area. So when we change the format to really tighten up on that local news and getting that information out to the people, we looked really hard and said, okay, nowadays people are getting their sports scores instantly as it's happening, as the game's going on. They're getting their weather information as it's going on their cell phones or on their tablets. So for us, we had to really look at it and say, we really need to be that source for local news, and that's what we've become.
The same thing goes for the weather, because we now have the weather with all sorts of data, more data than we've ever had before about the weather, but it actually updates live throughout the day. So previously, Gary, if I'm correct, our weatherman did the weather report, and that same weather report played all throughout the night.
That's correct.
Now our data updates live time. So if a storm blows through at 10 o'clock at night and the weather is on, it's explaining those weather dynamics.
Yeah, so what we're using now is called WeatherView 32, and it's a program we've had here at WYLN for a number of years. So what it does is it automatically updates every time. So when you used to just get the weather at 5:30, 6:30, or whenever we were on, you were getting the weather for when that live broadcast was. What we're doing now is every time that comes on during our newscast, that is the most up-to-date live information you're getting. And it says right at the top of the screen, as of such and such time, or as of such and such time on each slide. And it's showing you the most current that we can give you, and which is really, really great tool for us, because now, not only is it on during the news, but if you tune into WYLN throughout the day, we're actually now putting that in on so many hours throughout the day. Instead of maybe running promos or a filler, we're now running that weather in there. So people are able to tune in, maybe they're watching a show, and before it goes to the next one, we're putting that in there. So we're getting that information out to people more than we ever have before.
And that's a great example of how technology has evolved. Our technological capabilities have evolved. Nobody else in the greater Hazleton area has this technology. And so that's really something that does make us more cutting edge.
The new show will premiere tonight at 8 o'clock and replay a number of times throughout the rest of the week and the weekend here on WYLN TV. And speaking of the latest news, the jury now has to make the decision in the Eric Freen trial in Pike County Court. And you can watch the WYLN Facebook page as well as the crawl. We'll keep you updated. Stay with us. A look at today's weather next here on WYLN News.
a glorious story, the sweetest that's ever been told. They found they were handy
at making fine candy
for family and friends to behold. Word spread through the land
that Victoria's candies
would one day be leading the rest.
Now that day is here,
for the facts are quite clear that Victoria's candies are best.
Whether you're a homeowner renovating your first kitchen or a professional contractor remodeling your 100th kitchen, we're here to work with you every step of the way. We feature Homecrest and Omega cabinets, bathrooms and entertainment cabinets, along with solid surface countertops for Mica and Wilson Art products. We offer affordable installation. All this and more at Morris Kitchens LLC. Appointments welcome. Call 570-825-6956.
Wyln has an immediate opening for a news reporter and multimedia journalist. Please send resumes and demo reels to Gary Perna, News Director, 1057 East 10th Street, Hazleton, Pennsylvania, 18201, or email news@wylntv.com. Wyln is an equal opportunity employer.